Welcome to the Picky Old Gamer podcast. Follow us on Apple, Google, Podbean, and Amazon. Here is your host, Picky Old Gamer.
Hey everybody, Picky Old Gamer here, and this is the first actual episode of the podcast format I'm doing, and let's just get into it. The big thing we're going to be talking about this week, the Switch Pro. Oh wait, not the Switch Pro, the Switch OLED. Now, I've done a lot of videos on YouTube about this, and there's been a lot of talk about and a lot of rumors about the Switch Pro coming, and that's going to have new internal hardware, use NVIDIA's DLSS technology, get us up to 4K, which, means the Switch wouldn't completely render the game in 4K. It would go probably in 1080p because DLSS 2.0 from NVIDIA can take 1080p and go straight to 4K and look really good. What do we get? Well, as the name suggests, it's got an OLED screen, upgraded from 6.2 inches to 7 inches. Then it's got double the internal RAM, the storage, 64 gigs versus the old 32 gigs. Then it's got the kickstand, which is a very large, really nice kickstand. It goes across the back. It's more stable. You have more places to leverage it and move it, where it's kind of like, it makes you looks like a Microsoft Surface. Then you've got these speakers, which they say it's better, but we don't know what it is. It's stereo speakers. It looks like there's bigger speakers and better volume, better audio. Probably, I guarantee you, just a nicer speaker setup in there for handheld play. And finally, the dock. The dock has been redone slightly. It looks a little different, but the main thing is it's got Ethernet built in. So that means no dongles, no third-party stuff, and you're good to go. You have a hardwired connection for stuff like Smash Brothers, and other things that you need that hardwired connection to be competitive. So that's what we got. We didn't get a Pro. So what does this mean? Well, frankly, it means Nintendo is Nintendo. There's 4 to 5 versions of the 3DS, depending on how you look at it. 5 overall, if you really look up online, and they're iterative. They're very small updates. You've had the Nintendo Switch in 2017, which I got the OG version. I got the gray ones. I wish I got the color ones, but I was up middle of the night with friends. We did videos on them, and we did the pre-buy, and I got the original. I still got the original. Then later on, they redid the battery, up the battery life in there much considerably over the other one, and changed the box, and that's where you see the red box type of Switch, which you don't see the old version anymore unless you're buying it used or maybe at an odd shop that has an old one. Then we got the Switch Lite, which wasn't a real Switch to some people. It made a lot of people mad, and I get it. It was, frankly, it was a disappointment to a lot of people. And I get that. It wasn't a Switch, but Nintendo got rid of the 3DS. They didn't have a handheld. They're going all in on this Switch thing, folks. That's why it was made out, as a new handheld. The Switch Lite is the new Game Boy. Period. That's exactly what a Switch Lite is. It's a brand new Game Boy. Then, here we are, middle of 2021, and what do we get? The new iteration. It is a Switch that if you play the Switch as a Switch, you play it in handheld and you play it in docked, which I'm a docked person 99.9% of the time. I never undock the thing. But if you play it in Switch, as the name suggests, you're going to have a better screen, better audio, double the storage. I mean, right there and there, if you're holding it in your hand, that's pretty dang good. I mean, OLED is a huge jump. I had the PS Vita back there. I had the original OLED, and it was gorgeous. So, yeah, it is a huge upgrade. But is it an upgrade and it's good enough for everybody? For me, none of those features except 2 would be usable. 1, 64 gigs internally. I have a 64 gig card I finally put in an SD card. I can move everything internally. I don't have a lot of digital stuff on mine because I'm a physical collector. I like it. I play my games physically if I can. 2, if I really wanted to hardwire this sucker, I could. The screen upgrade doesn't matter to me because I don't play it. I would get like, ooh, let me undock it and look at the screen. It's so pretty. And then, meh. I'd put it back in the dock, just like everybody else that plays their console docked, right? I mean, that's exactly what would happen. Then you would look at, the speakers. I've got it plugged into the Bose soundbar we have upstairs, or I can plug it back in downstairs, and I have $1,000, 1,100 watt, 5.1 sound system. I don't need the speakers, right? But I think it's a iteration that we knew Nintendo was going to do. Now, a lot of people are saying the Nintendo Switch Pro is coming. It's coming. I think it is, because here's the one thing that I want to talk about real quick that makes me think, the 4K stuff and a true upgraded Switch has to happen. At the end of last year, Doug Bowser was quoted. I think it's Doug Bowser. Like I said, if I'm wrong, please let me know. Is saying Switch was at its middle of its life cycle. Now, folks, think of this. The Switch came out March 3rd, 2017. This was in December of 2020, which was right at the 4-year life, mark. December to March, you only got that little window there. And then March 3rd, you were less than 3 months off from the 4-year anniversary. So you're telling me the Nintendo Switch with the original Tegra processor and all that stuff, all that old tech, the normal screen and no upgrade to RAM, no nothing, is going to stick around for another 4 years and get at least an 8-year life cycle? That is very, very odd to me. I don't see it happening, because if it did and I was completely wrong, all of us was wrong, and they keep reiterating and they change something and they put the Light Pro or the Light OLED out, and you got a 5-inch OLED, and you got, I don't know, bigger and really amazing speakers on it because it's a pure handheld. If they didn't upgrade that Tegra, they're going to be in a bad situation, at least I think, because right now, third-party stuff, you can play the Doom games on it. Witcher 3, a big seller, and it was a good conversion. Things like that will not happen much longer, because the PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series S and X, the next-gen console development, which will only be for those consoles, will kick in soon, folks. This cross-generation stuff will go bye-bye. Okay. Then you're having people program for at least a minimum of 4 teraflops on that the Series S, which is, they scale it up to the 12 and the 10 teraflops of the PS5 and Series X. Then what are you going to do for a Tegra? Oh, have somebody convert that. No. They're not going to they're not going to take the time to convert that. It's going to be a waste of time. Then it will turn into really like a 3DS or a Game Boy, and the Switch will have indie and most likely first-party stuff. And with first-party stuff from Nintendo, like taking years, we're just now 4 years into it, and we're getting a new Zelda. Say we get another one toward the end of the life cycle. The Metroid Prime 4, Splatoon 3, those are coming out. Well, Splatoon 3 is next year. What else could they do? I mean, more Metroid? Sure. Another Zelda? That's many years off. They're not going to rush that. Another Luigi's Mansion? Maybe. But what is it going to be that keeps that system relevant? And I don't know if losing the third-party support because the Switch doesn't evolve would be a good thing, And that's the point. That the Switch OLED is a disappointment for many. It's a slight disappointment for me, because I don't understand what Nintendo's going to do to get almost at least 4 more years out of the Switch without alienating third party. But Nintendo loves to do multiple iterations, and we don't know what else they're going to do. And there's another piece of tech, another piece of kit, so to speak, that I'm going to talk about in my next quick little podcast. And this was from old patents, back in the day, the NX patents, you know. This could be what they do to add on. Now, may not be. We may see a Pro in 2022 that launches next to Breath of the Wild 2. We don't know. But I don't see this as being the end point solution that's going to get the Switch 4 more years. So, I don't know. This is my opinion. It may not be completely popular. I'm not completely hating on Nintendo. It's a decent upgrade. 7-inch screen, OLED. Seems like the battery life is the same. That's strange. I thought the OLED would add a little bit more battery life to it. You doubled up the storage. A lot better audio. So if you truly use the Switch in a handheld mode any amount of time, I'm forgetting, the dock and all that, it's a decent upgrade. But it's also $350, and unless you truly use the Switch for the switching ability, then it's not there. So a lot of people are going to hold off. So that is my thoughts on the Switch Pro. Is it a disappointment? Too many, yes. Myself, yes. But I also know that Nintendo will keep doing what they're doing, and I don't think they're done yet. So I do appreciate everybody for listening. I was about to say watching, but I have to get used to not saying for watching. And I thank you for, listening to me ramble for a little bit. This is my podcast, shouldn't be too long. I might get between 15 to 20 minutes on some of them. But this is going to be small tidbits, something that I can throw out there real quick to you. I'm going to be, again, on Apple, Google, Podbean, and Amazon. I might move to, Spotify. I don't think so. I think Apple and Google plus Amazon and Podbean is plenty. If other people want that, I will go from there. So I do appreciate everybody for listening today. And thank you very much. And I'll see you on the next podcast. All right, everybody. PKO Gamer. Out.